What is up, guys? Have a fun video for you today. Today's video is a viewer battle. My opponent, and I'm probably butchering this, I do apologize, is Aegrotus. Really hope I got that right. We have two matchups here. Both times he played Firesworn deck. You know, usually you mix that with Crimes, you see that a lot on ladder, but he decided to keep it purely Firesworn. I gotta respect that. While I was playing a Lippy Pirates deck, and then a Harmony deck. So we'll go and hop into it, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, hey, so as you kind of probably noticed in the intro, we got a little bit different of an audio setup. This at least gets some mic things working consistently, and hopefully tries to fix a little bit of it. Apologize if it's too quiet, I'm still trying to adjust some new volumes, but this will be a temporary fix just to at least have consistent audio until I get some better equipment bought and set up for it. But anyways, into this first match, we have a pretty good round one hand, and we are on red coins, so we can possibly have some abuse here.
Ever faithful to the flaming rose.
Okay, we know that he's Firesworn, and so the question was at the time, was it Crimes or was it a dedicated Firesworn? And as you kind of heard in the intro, it was a dedicated one, which I really appreciated. And yeah, this audio is being recorded after the fact. This was recorded a while ago during the whole mic issues, so I just at least had the footage. But again, having to record audio over it, as has been the case really recently, kind of unfortunate. I think it was a combination of my previous mic and stuff not working, and then drivers, like the audio drivers were bad, and then I think there's still some other issues. But we at least have a mic now. It's just been the issues of getting the volume set up right. That's why a lot of this is probably gonna be very quiet. I do apologize. So yeah, our first moves here are really obvious. We see our opponent, again, apologies if I mispronounce his name at any point, Aegrotus. Normally I think Furco for Congregate is kind of bad, and I don't know if that was maybe the best crime pool there, though I know that, you know, at least now there's a reason why, because obviously he's doing dedicated Firesworn. There wasn't, you know, lots of crimes that he's going to pull. You know, obviously something like Justice would be way better, kind of thought process in the moment. But looking back at it now, it makes sense. Now, Congregate, again, can play for stupid value. Like, pulling Congregate out is not a bad play per se. I just think you kind of want a little bit more on there, like some Fallen Knights on the board, you know, maybe a little more cash on hand to transform. Yeah, Congregate can definitely hit you like with 16 points. Crazy good stuff. I love that card in the right decks. Okay, Disarray. He shuts off an engine there and gets a lot of boost from it. But he commits Sacred Flame too. So now that I'm close in points, I know that I'm going to keep pushing in with most of this hand. Because Disarray and Sacred Flame are a stupid amount of points. And if he uses both of them and we can keep pushing more out of him, we're in a really good spot.
Shoot those arrows up your ass! Scorch our foes!
Okay, and so when I see that card, which is pretty cool to see, I became more and more certain that we were actually going against just a normal Firesworn deck.
For King Oberon, for Tyr
Nice. You gotta love to see that. It's nice to play against interesting things like that. You really gotta appreciate it. Okay, he passes from us, and we have to hit the Naglfar here because we just tie. Otherwise, we don't want to drop leader. So when we look in here, we really need Goliath or Spear Tip. We could really miss. But fortunately, we get lucky. Could have been really bad. Kind of went for the high roll, and we got it. Now, spear tip, asleep would have been better. You know, save as many points for later, but we will definitely take it. And we know we have Cranthir on top. So if we can just get our Koshchi, we are in a really good position to bleed this deck out. Which is 100% what I'm going to want to do because of Fallen Knights. And as you can see there, we drew the Koshchi. You gotta live to see it. Ada here's a little awkward. Removal might not be as good. I kept it just with the idea. I mean, it is gonna proc some thrives. We still might find good removal. You know, if Fall Knight drops naked, we could at least take it out, type of deal. So I thought there's at least a potential to hit some value with it. Might as well. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't have removal, so I'd go ahead and play it a turn early before the adrenaline kicks in. Just kind of some proactive plays. I mean, I could have played the Conqueror, but obviously we want him to proc as many thrives as possible. Okay, so Ulrich comes down. We're probably expecting a Fallen Knight, but instead we see Firesworn Scribe. So I go, uh-oh, we see Lonely Champions here. It's actually really scary. We go Koshchi. Yeah, we got the adrenaline ones running. I considered whether or not to use leader because I was extremely positive he didn't have removal. But I thought let's go ahead and start rolling it because I am going to try and bleed out here. But a slightly smarter move may have been to just bleed on that. But I was like, you never know, there could be the random heat wave. So we'll go ahead and play it in. And then now, I mean, our sequencing is pretty set. We're going to try and go Ada next. And then we just play Conquer, Spear Tip, and we finish with be damned. He kept him boosted up, so unfortunately can't remove one of the Firesworn Scribes. But I mean, 9 for 7, that procs thrives. You can't be too mad at all. Sitting up a comfortable amount of points. And when I was definitely going to play Conqueror next, like there's no doubt about that, but when I got to Spear Tip and Ozrel, I considered maybe just passing depending on how many points we are and almost guaranteeing a short round, but I was going to wait and see what the difference was if I should just go and try to him. Okay, so there's the, you know, nice healthy combo pays for itself. He filled up his row. So that's what, yeah, I was counting right there. I was like, okay, wait, he filled up his row. No Lonely Champions, or he misplayed or something. I don't exactly know. And it could just been the idea, and all those coins, you know, use as spenders for other ones, but get Igor down. These combinations can be nasty. I forget if he drops really good spender at the end or not. But because he filled his row and I'm not going to see a Lonely Champion, like, if he had dropped a Lonely Champion, I would have backed out, because then he could fill up the row again, drop another Lonely Champion, you know, it gets really scary.
Yes, I work with Salaman.
Got a lot of coin generation, but he has no way to clear the row and fill it back up, so we go for the 2-0. Pretty confident we can take it. Yeah, he's got to get 50 points. Which, I mean, isn't wholly impossible. You know, if Yerden could absolutely wreck us. Yerden and Diaz Ray could be very, very good. Okay, so there's the other Diaz Ray. We can get him at a lot of points. And get the 2-0. Love to see it. So we are going to go ahead and hop into the next game.
My folk have suffered much.
Alright, second game, he decided to play Firesworn again. I went with the Harmony list. He's still a competitive list, but I guess a little more memey. Looking at our first hand, we got 3 poisons. We're pretty happy with that, though could sometimes find bad targets. So I was like, if we miss a poison at the end of the world, so we decided to kick one of the Dryads, and we've got a pretty good hand. So Percival here, definitely. You're gonna start with that. You pop the stratagem, get an instant 2 boost onto him. Pretty good combo. I don't know what I was doing there. Maybe I was checking the audio issues because it was just like, what is going on? Okay, he comes in with an Ulrich. So when you see your opponent do that, you know they're here to play. And he has red coin this time. I made sure I took blue coin to keep things a little bit more fair, because red coin is busted, and he drops a Fallen Knight, so that's super scary. And with Ulrich Devotion, it gets the +2 boost on it, so he doesn't have to drop any leader. Gets it fairly survivable, and what's really hurtful against us is that Veil, so we couldn't poison it away. So I already have elves on the board, so I'm going to go and get my elf harmony engine down to try and keep as efficient of harmony procs as possible. Alright, because if we played some of the other ones and then played the elf, like, the harmony cards that would have already been played wouldn't get procced. So just trying to play fairly efficient. He gets the other Fallen Knight down and spawns 2. So I'm thinking this is going to be super scary to play into. We might go for an early pass. Go for the Train Hawk, and I should, yeah, kill one of the tokens, Can eliminate some extra points in the future. That 2 damage is kind of going to trade up when he has things like Dia's Array, or, transforming those into footmen.
I curse your name, I damn your soul!
Takes the XCOM 2 there.
The eternal fire shall consume all that is impure.
I believe I take the pass here. I don't think I keep playing, but I maybe don't remember. I mean, I still have first Neuromancy. Maybe that's why I was kind of checking if I want to commit anything, and maybe I do. But I really felt like I took the pass here, and I think that's wise, because going against 2 Fallen Knights when I can't answer either one of them is really, really scary. Round 1. Like, round 3, obviously, I mean, Harmony has some points. Has a stupid amount of points. So that's a different story, but in round 1, I feel like I just might end up losing a card. We take the early pass. I do have short round with this deck, if need be. So, if he bleeds us down, we at least have a chance for a decent short round. So, when we're looking at it here, it's pretty decent hand. I mean, we have a lot of different categories. Kick the elf to try and... I don't know what I was trying to go for. It might have actually been something to keep for harmony procs, but at the same time, it that 3 damage isn't probably finding too much value here. So kicking it's not too bad. Still running the Dwarven Chariot in this because that machine tag gets an extra level of harmony procs, and then giving that armor is pretty nice. It can help protect your Gezras and Pavko. Even the Hawker Smuggler. So I know, I'm guessing this is his list from last time, and I know there's not removal. So I set up a Hawker Smuggler here.
Special prize, just for you, love.
Because I want to just, if he plays a Fallen Knight, there's a really good chance we're decking it out. So I might as well try and get as much carryover value as I possibly can. And then that's the kind of benefit when you know a little bit what you're going up against. You can kind of plan for things like that. But because we already have the human tag now, it's not going to be proccing any of the harmony. I'm going to go and get the other human down. Because Pavko is a really nasty engine over long periods of time, and he'll have lots of tokens that we can just ping out. You got Von Hurst. We can't answer that very slowly though with poisons.
It's not the fire.
But I'm seeing all this dropping in. I'm gonna go and get waters.
Wind whistles will us whip. The waters
We're
of
gonna
Brooklyn,
duke it out.
their taste still upon my lips.
I should start hitting tokens here. I might. No, I tried to take out the scribe first. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think the next game plan after that is getting Von Hurst out of there. Pretty solid card. It's one of those cards like, you know, if it lives, it's just crazy good value in many instances, but a lot of times it's just dying. It's a really awkward spot. Like, you pay 7 provisions only, so it's like, okay, if it lives, you know, I get a lot of value, and if it dies, okay, I didn't pay a whole lot of provisions. But when you kind of just think about it, it's just kind of, when you play a card like that, it's very rare that it actually does live, so it's just, you kind of go in knowing what it is, but just hoping for the best. It kind of makes it, awkward's kind of the best word I can think for that. And, you know, some of that binary stuff, I mean, is rampant throughout Gwent. You know, if it lives, you win. If it dies, you lose. And Von Hurst isn't so much that, but it's pretty close. We go and play the, they're called Dryad Rangers, yeah. We play that one first, obviously. As I think I've said a billion times now. Efficient harmony procs. That's the buzzword. But that that procession of penance would have been nice for some targets. Yeah, so here's where I started taking out tokens. Get Gezras coming down at 6, which is always nice, but again, really don't think he's running.
Now this is a
Removal.
nice.
Okay, so you see when he has a Fall Knight, what I mentioned earlier, with I think Congregation wasn't the exact best play for like doing Furkona Congregation then. You see when you have a Fallen Knight, how much it plays for just so much more. And then if you had something to transform, oh man, Congregation plays for stupid value. Especially in the Crimes version of this, even more nasty. Like if you had Horson Senior and his lackeys down, nasty. Looking at going ahead and dropping Gezras next. Yeah, he's dropping Jacques, so we are brawling it out.
The beast shall confer on the blood of innocence shall flow.
Don't think he can answer it at 6. I'm really positive he's not. Okay, that's his first Diaz array, I believe. I'm gonna go minor. Also paying attention to risk base. And I haven't dropped leader here. I'd use it as kind of a last save, but to hold on to again help our short round. I guess if you've picked up on the fact that I haven't used that. Because a lot of times you drop waters and then go that. But again, as I've said several times, no removal, so we're very confident to just leave it there. And try and save leader to give us an extra chance in a short round. And again, playing it last still works because it doesn't go as tall, but it hits wide very well. Okay, he gets the pass. And we were able to take the pass too because Gezras will move. I was hesitating because like, he does move, right? Right? Stuff like that still works. And after all this time, I still have to question it. I have leader, he doesn't, and we're each tied at 2 cards. Barnabas is boosted up, so is the Dwarven Chariot. Okay, looking at mulligans, checking my deck. We want Isengrim's Council. Be really nice, and probably Hawk, I would imagine. The Dwarf 2, the Marauder. One of those would be nice. I think I'm probably going to kick the Bowman here. It's like, please don't tell me I actually kicked the Barnabas. Okay, so I kicked the Ranger. Okay, well, looking back, those were maybe some questionable mulligans. Okay, so I led with her to get a Harmony Engine down. Okay, yeah. Mulligans were very questionable, but sequencing here, I think I'm at least doing a decent job. It's kind of funny watching yourself back, and you're like, oh man, what was I doing there?
Test out the godless non-humans.
Doesn't spin, that's unfortunate. Turns out that it was nice to keep in this moment. Should have played around it. You should always kind of play around that if you can. I myself have failed many times to do it. I guess because he's really searching for particular cards, he wanted enough in the bank. Another scribe. Doesn't boost it. We can't kill it anyways, but we'll go ahead and probably drop. I guess maybe I was kicking the Marauder because I was already getting a dwarf off of the chariot. And I'm going to be putting all my armor onto that, the rowdy dwarf. Try and keep it, you know, give it as much chance as possible to live for Barnabas. I guess, okay, I see why I kept the elf now, is for Barnabas. That makes sense. That's a nasty blade from him. That's when you see that, you get a little scared, you're like, oh shoot. Helvete is really good for him. So we go Isengrim's Council. We want a full Dryad. Yeah, and we're definitely guaranteed to get it. We wanted the other one that can damage by 1, so we could kill that scribe back there, but can't be 2 men. Barnabas here is giving me a stupid amount of points. So that's why I was keeping that elf, but okay, that makes my mulligans make a little more sense. I was definitely keeping the elf for Barnabas. And then I went ahead and kicked the Marauder because I was looking for, I guess, Isengrim's Council. Okay, we drop a really big old boy Barnabas.
Not supposed to be any smoke.
Alright, there you go. Take the one with Harmony. Feels really nice. Hope you guys enjoyed.